this stuff, needs to be brought under Terraform control. So we have the settings TF file for that zone in our Git repo with all the settings that apply to it. You'll see there's DNS records, there's the zone config itself, and then we have a workspace in non-prod terraform.anaplan.io for this, where we will apply the Terraform state as planned. So if we trigger a run, I've got a previous run that I did earlier in test and save you waiting. You'll see that the plan is finished and it says it's going to add 46 resources. But if I look down here, you'll see those resources all look good, but there is in their Cloudflare zone. Now, if I was to process that, it will want to destroy and recreate the zone, or worst case, try and create a duplicate. But it will likely fail, and we don't want to do that because that would be disruptive. So we need to import the Cloudflare zone into the record, yeah?
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you how to do that. So we crack open a shell.
Can you increase the size a little bit? Yeah, thank you.
Right. So, and then we will need to set up some stuff. So we need to emulate what's in the some of the stuff in the workspace. So with the variables here, we need to set the AWS access key to that, and this AWS secret access key to the corresponding secret access key, which I think may have already been provided to you. If not, I'll provide to you outside of this call. But you can see there where the settings TFRs is referenced, and that has to be replicated in the process as well. So I'll show you how that's done. Making note that there is also variables that could be needed, the email and API key. Again, if you haven't got them, let me know and I'll get them to you securely. But moving on, let's do Terraform. So we need to do this in the command line. So onto the demo directory, and what I'm going to do, first thing is I'm going to set the AWS access key.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to do the secret access key, and I'm just going to take this off screen while I do it, just because I don't want to disclose the password in something that's recorded.
If I have to get the secret access key, from where I can get?
We can but try. I'll send it to you via Secure Share. You do need to get yourself a password vault if you haven't got one already. Yeah. You should really be taking these access keys and storing them anywhere unless it's already encrypted. So I'm at two minds whether to give you those keys, but Muftal will have access to them. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is we have to clone this repo. So get the link, clone on that repo for Cloudflare zones. Once we're here, we need to go into the root module directory, so into that there, and there's a directory called root. We do this so we can better manage the changes, but it's kind of standard in the Terraform I setup. So now if we do it, Terraform init, we need to specify the backend config, which is in the backend directory. So go one, backends, and this one's terraform.anaplan.io. We do an init. It will now initialize the Terraform repo. It wants to know which workspace we want. We want CA1A-API-RTP2.anaplan.com. Yeah, so that's workspace 13. So that's Terraform has now been initialized. So if we do a Terraform state list, you'll see that I've actually cleared the state and there is no state for this. Yeah. So now we need to do an import. Just bear with me 1 second.
So this CA1 R2P2 zone, before it was not controlled by Terraform. It was
But it
ClickOps.
was, but I've deleted. I've actually deleted all the states. So the first thing I'm going to do is do an import of the Cloudflare zone in this case. That's what it's called. And the reason why it's called Cloudflare zone is because in the root module for the zone, you'll see it's called
Cloudflare zone. Yeah.
So that's what we have to call it. And we give it the zone ID. So if I just go to, actually, I don't need to go to the dashboard because the zone ID is already in here. So where were we?
In the bars.
CA1 API. The zone ID is also in here. Oh, that's the account ID. We need the zone ID. Okay, that's not referenced. So we do need to go to the dashboard. Yeah. And pick the zone. CA1A API. Zone ID is there. And now we've got that. I import that zone. Oh, okay. Oh, that's because my Terraform has a run that's in a cost estimated state. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cancel that because you can't have a locked workspace. I'm going to cancel that, but remember it had 46 resources it's going to add, including the zone.
Yeah.
So let's go back, try that import again. And what that said, workspace already locked, so something was already happening. Okay, this is where we have to set the variable. So no value for variable required. What am I missing? Okay, so this is where I have to specify the var file and the variables. Yeah? What was it? We go back to there. Variables. Cloudflare email. So my one password. So that's the variable for Cloudflare API key, Cloudflare email, the TFRs file is mentioned, and we have the environment set for AWS CLI. See if it works now. Ooh. Okay, that's interesting. It's fine. Definitely the zone ID. So, okay. If that is the zone ID, then maybe the way that the This is encapsulated as incorrect. Take that up. Oh, so import was successful. So it was down to the way that this was written. So I've corrected that and it's imported now. So if I go back to my Terraform state and go here, and I'm going to do the run. And remember, we were going to create 46 resources.
Yeah. So before that, we don't have any resources created by Terraform.
Well, this is a pre-configured zone, so this is like you're migrating to a new Terraform state. So there may or may not be config that exists. So now you can see there's 45 resources to create, not 46, yeah?
Yeah.
And if you scroll down, you'll see, if you expand the plan, yeah, Cloudflare Zone is not one of them, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay? But the thing is, we may have a live site. So we now need to bring in the Cloudflare record, yeah? And this is actually defined here, yeah?
Yeah. Just
For some pre-existing zones, you may have to put the FQDN instead of at, because if somebody click option creates a record, it uses the FQDN there. But if you can, if you do it via Terraform, use at, which is the origin, yeah?
Yeah.
So I need to dash that Terraform run, otherwise we can't import anything else. So now we need to import that record, and we can see Cloudflare record, yeah? So here, actually, I'm just going to set something, a convenience thing. Bear with me 1 second. Yeah. So I'm just going to line all of that. Just something, because I ain't got to touch that again now. Just change that encapsulation. So now we can go TFI. We want to import Cloudflare record, and so we now need to quote this because it's got characters in it. So Cloudflare record.
What's the TFI for?
That's an alias I just created for Terraform import.
Okay.
Yeah, just so I haven't got to keep on seeing all of that. And so we just look at this Cloudflare record. Yeah, second. Import down here. Look at the bottom. Import zone ID / record ID. Okay, so this is where we need to have our AWS access. I think I've added you as you're added as a DNS administrator, so you should all be able to go in and get the. Can you confirm if you go to the Anaplan operations command that you've got root 53 admin?
Yeah, just 1 minute.
Yeah, because that one is like literally full DNS admin for the whole of Anaplan. Now you need that.
Yeah, I have access.
Good, good. So that means you can get in and get these in. So we want, this is an Anaplan, is it Anaplan.com? I think it is Anaplan.com, yeah. RTP2 is Anaplan.com. I've just remembered. R2P2 special DNS wise, yeah? It's not in the Amazon account. So the other one I want you to check, yeah? We just APR2P2 is where R2P2 lives, yeah?
Yeah.
You need to have Route 53 admin in that account as well. And the AP, there's a Chimera account, S2S account that you need it for. That's for the Chimera stuff. So this has got 5 hosted zones. API-R2P2. You see the zone ID is there, so we need the zone ID. Go back to our shell, give the zone ID / and then we need the record. So this is the CNAME. We need the reference for that.
So if it is a full zone, I mean, if it is a partial zone, we have to get the zone ID from Cloudflare itself.
If it's a full zone, all the DNS will be dealt with by Cloudflare because you'll just have an NS record. But if it's a partial zone, you're going to have to import the DNS and do it like this. Well, you have to import, I think you have to import the root anyway.
Okay.
Just try it.
Yeah.
I need the record details of this. Actually, that's not going to help. Okay. So this is where I need AWS CLI, yeah? And my good friend Google, yeah?
Yeah.
AWS CLI. Actually, I've got a script that does this already. Oh no, but my access is in the wrong account. That's problematic. Let me just see if I can find out from here. If I go back in here, you see, I need the actual DNS records unique ID. Yeah. See, it doesn't give it me that. It must do when it gives me record details. Tell you what, edit. Let's develop mode, window. Yeah, developer, that's it. Developer tools. So if I just go down here and go tab selection change. One of these should have. Oh, no, not that one. How can we find this? Try deselect it. Something we can do with this. Create. Okay. Edit record. That'll do it. It's fine. Okay, I don't have the permissions. That's fine. Did we get? No, this is a pain in the backside. Okay, we need the ID of this record. I'm a little bit stuck because I need to go get the. How do I get that now? on that. What's the actual header say? Got to reference it somehow, yeah. That's the- It says what zone record ID that is. This is a pain in the ass. Hold on a sec. I'm not getting anywhere with this. Okay. This is where I'm going to have to just double check. Confluence. See if I can get onto that other account. There is a page for AWS SSO. Should have this configured up already, but it's been a while, so we'll see if it still works. Yeah, okay, that's just reminding me. So, root R2P2, command line access, that's what I needed. Yeah. And then I go back to Michelle. Michelle, new window. I don't want those environment settings, export that. And AWS, CLI, STS, get all the info. Oh, I'll get caller identity, that's the one. Tune role, Route 53 admin, bonus. AWS, CLI, get zone records. Hosted zone ID. Okay, so that. We give it the zone ID that we got from here. Oh, didn't like that one. Let's give it a 53 or Route 53. Route 53, Route 53. Oh wow, who gave you that? I used to have modern steam engines when I was a kid. I wonder if it's got any in mind. I don't know, I'm on the corner of that. That looks really cool. Yeah, don't drop it. Right, here we go. We've got our record set. So now we want CA1A. Doesn't have an ID. That's interesting. Okay, go back to the documentation. Record ID. Now, this is interesting because I don't have a record ID as part of the... Sorry, Dad, I'm on a call and I'm recording it.
Okay, then.
Sorry.
Call you back later.
All right. seeing if there's something to get that info. No, so it should be list resource record sets. Yeah. Got a name. That's the only thing I've got is a name. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to try a name. Go to the other screen. Okay. Huh. So, no, it doesn't like that. Let me just try something. Is there an extended list resource record sets? Doesn't appear so, does it? Hosted zone, max items, okay. Oh, no, let's go on the table. That's mad. It doesn't show anything that would give me that ID to have. Okay. Oh, hold on a sec. Yeah. No, it's not giving me that ID. Sorry, this is a little bit of a challenge. So we need a record ID. Oh, I'm doing it the wrong way around. Stone ID. Huh. No. / record ID. So we need a record ID. We definitely need a record ID. And I'm not sure how to get one. Google. AWS Route 53. The ID does exist. Even here, it's not giving the record ID, which is really annoying. This is challenging. I can't remember how I did this. I had this before. I can't remember how I got to it. Maybe I use CF terraforming. Just bear with me. So that would import them like that. See, they've all got a record ID, but I don't know how they're getting the record ID. Even these don't seem to have an ID that's referenceable. That's what we're doing. People. What? Let's get in from the API. No ID there. How the hell do we get this? This is really... okay, I've just thought of another way of cracking this. Prisma Cloud. Do you have access to Prisma Cloud?
No, I don't.
You probably want to ask for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go find that DNS
Mm-hmm.
in Prisma Cloud. And Prisma Cloud surfaces a lot of metadata. It's quite useful. So now I want to route 53... 53 domain. Take GCP. Okay. Route 53 domain. The host is there. That's what we want. And this is API to B2. API R2P2. That's the zone. That's good. Can't drill down any deeper. That's a disappointment. I'm stuffed for this at the moment. Sorry, I'm really kind of challenged as to how to get that record value out. How do you get that record ID? I know it exists. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I may be overthinking this. Just bear with me one sec. Take the dot off the end. It might be as simple as that. Because you should have a dot on the end of any fully qualified domain name to tell you that it's a fully qualified domain name. No, it didn't like that. So there must be a way of getting this.
Navy.
See, we've already done that one. Never been here. I really don't know how to expose that. That's kind of stumped me because. Let me just ask you, Ewan. I'm afraid I'm actually asking the audience time on this one. Bear with me. So, I'm just waiting for Akshar to come and join us, and he should be able to hopefully shed some light on the subject. I'm literally a bit stumped on that one.
Okay.
Oh, sugar, I'm an idiot. The penny's just dropped. I am stupid. Okay, that's not the zone ID that we want. The penny has just dropped. We want the Cloudflare zone ID, yeah? And
Yeah.
the record ID is going to be easier to find because when we go to DNS, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
record, we have this record here, yeah?
Yeah.
And while it doesn't say the record ID here, what we can do is crack open another shell, and we do client.share, get zones, that zone, DNS records, Yeah, that's paged. Might be lucky. That's the one we want. There's its ID. That's what I was after the whole time. Cool. So we go here.
So if I have multiple,
You have to, yeah, you'd have to import each one, but you use the API client to find out what the ID of the zone record is, yeah?
okay.
And then you feed it into here and you'll see, there you go, import successful. So now we go back to our Terraform workspace and we've discarded this one. It had 45, which was one less than before when we had 46.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to run it again and see what happens.
Yeah. So if I have 20 records, I have to separately import 20 records.
Yes.
Okay.
If you can use the AWS, if you can use the CLI and you can say something like, I'm just going to get this paged a second so it's proper.
Mm-hmm.
What you could do, and this is why I built the API client, yeah? So you could go things like, move that across so you can see what I just typed. So now we've got the API client, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That gives you a list of records. So you can say for rec ID in that do, you go back here, and then you could just say, literally go rec ID done. I'm not going to execute because it's already imported, but you could actually import all the records with a loop like that, yeah? Yeah, that's why I did the API client, so you can easily tease out lists of IDs to enumerate across and do a thing with. Yeah?
Yeah.
So now that's it. See here, we're now, it's creating 45. One to destroy.
Okay.
That's interesting. So now you're going to see,
Yeah.
that the name has been changed from CA1A yada yada to A. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
That's because we reference as an A and it's an existing domain. Now for this one, because we've done this, we're now going to have to do something special. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So for this config, we've got @ yeah? And you're never going to get anywhere while it's called @ because that only works for stuff you create in Terraform for the first time. A pre-existing root records, you have to go and do this way. So we go back to our Terraform. You should do this under a change ID. But for this purposes, I'm just going to commit to main because of time. Zones, non-prod, ca1a.api-r2p2, settings, and we'll go to our record. And here, we'll replace that with the FQDN, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, do you guys still need me for it?
Right?
Do you still need me to find some record?
Oh, no, you don't, mate. Sorry, I didn't realise you'd actually joined. Thank you, sir. No, I actually found it. I was looking in the wrong place the whole time. Yeah.
No. Okay, cool. Got
Okay,
it.
thank you, buddy. I'll catch up with you in a bit before I finish for the day, mate.
Okay, no problem.
Cheers, dude.
Bye.
Bye. So I've just pushed that into the branch, and now if we look at that file, you will see this is now updated. And the latest change now lists the FQDN as the record, yeah?
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rerun that plan now. Discard that. I'm going to rerun the plan now. Yeah. Run our latest one. I'm going to try that again. Okay, now it's running.
So if it's not a ad record, not ad record, we don't really have to make any changes in the name.
No, that's correct. So if you create a new zone and the first time you create a record is with Terraform, you can call it app. If you're importing a zone where the name exists already and you're not allowed to destroy it because it's a live site, yeah, you're going to have to rename it in the Terraform. But you'll see now, 45 to add, 1 to destroy. So it still doesn't like that. What's going on here? So it's going to get rid of that and add that. Now the reason being is because it exists in Terraform state. Now if I go back here, I go Terraform state list, you see that the import of that is still there. So now I'm going to do Terraform state, remove that Cloudflare record, because it's not using it, it doesn't exist, and that's why it wants to delete it there. So rather than let that try and delete it in reality, I'm just removing it from the workspace. So now I've got to cancel this because it won't allow me while the workspace is locked. Discard. Okay, so it is discarded, that's fine. Okay, try that again.
And also, Arik, what was the command for creating a zone using the API script?
Oh, I think it's just Cloudflare resources.
Through the API. It will be in the developer.
API.
Yeah.
To be honest, API.Cloudflare. Shovel some coal in the back. Down the bottom zone.
Zone, yeah, about that.
Create a zone. So it's a post. Basically, it's a post of V4 zones, yeah? You post it with a name and a type or whatever the config is, and that goes in. So there you go. So now you'll see that that's been removed. We go back to the Terraform workspace and we rerun our plan, and hopefully now we should have no creations or deletions for a Cloudflare zone or a Cloudflare zone resource record. Yeah?
Yeah.
And once we've got them imported, the DNS and the zone itself, everything else is a setting that can be applied, reapplied, and messed around with. You can't really break it after this, yeah? So now you see it's 45 to create, yeah? And it still wants to create, as you see, but it's changed its name. It wants to create it because it doesn't exist in Terraform state. So now I'm going to close that, discard, yeah?
Yeah.
And then we go back and we say, well, what is API client for these DNS records? Let's find out what the ID of it was. So this one is that one there. Actually, that should, because I've not recreated it, so that actually should be the same. So if we go up now to this is the import. Yeah, that number's the same. We just need to change the record name to now be as is the FQDN. So we'll call it that. Oh. Yeah, that's all good. There you go, that's been imported. Just pay note that I put a single quote around the whole of that, because otherwise the shell tries to deal with what's inside the square braces and it messes it all up. Yeah. So if you find that's not working, make sure that you've got your string encapsulation all set correctly, so things aren't being expanded by the shell. 44. Hooray! We got there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now this zone has already got all of these settings already applied. So when we apply this, it's going to screw up with a few things, and that's good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to confirm and apply this now. Thrown out a ton of errors. I don't like this because things already exist. Don't worry at this stage. Errors are normal. Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of this shit's going to fail, so just let it fail. Because what we've got to do after this is work through that list and bring it all under Terraform control. But while this is now under Terraform control, what we've done, because the config already exists, is that there is a lot of duplicates that already exist there. So now we've got to get rid of them after this. That done yet? Yeah, that's failed. Good. Okay, it's not really failed. It's just failed to do. Oh,